We don't have a theme song, so here it goes. Stay connected, the Xbox Podcast. Enjoy the show. What's going on? Super Nintendo Dad here, and welcome to episode 1 of Stay Connected. Why not just hang out, talk about Xbox? But the thing is, I'm not going to do that alone because I brought Wicked with me. Wicked, also known as Dylan, but let's be honest, I'm probably just going to call you Wicked. How the heck are you?
Good. Pretty good.
He's doing pretty good. Don't let his enthusiasm fool you. He's a very
Yeah.
down to earth person. Wicked. We were planning to do an Xbox podcast for who knows
What,
how
months
long.
now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for a
it's
while.
been months.
Um, and we were like, let's do it. And so that's what we're doing. We are doing an Xbox podcast. This is episode 1. And Wicked, how about you tell people? So, what about the Xbox? What is it about the Xbox that got you going? What Xbox did you start with, and why do you have so many achievements?
Well, for starters, I started off with the first Xbox, but I was mainly a PS2 guy, but my dad got us the Xbox, and then it all went down to chill from there pretty much. Went on the Xbox side, got the 360 day one, got some red rings like everybody else did, and then somewhere in that time frame, I fell in love with achievements, and then I've been going at it ever since. Slowing
Oh,
down now, but that's because of the all the achievement stuff that went downhill with the Xbox One era.
oh, downhill with the Xbox. I don't know what you're talking about, but
Or,
yeah, what are you talking about, Wicked?
with all the super easy games that come out day in, day out. You don't really have to play them. You play it for like 5 minutes, maybe like 30 minutes tops, maybe an hour, and they're
Yeah.
usually around like $5, and you just get 1,000 points.
Okay,
And
now we're talking.
it's just taking out the sales for me pretty much. Because now you can get like 100,000 pretty easily. And I
Oh,
did that in a month on my YouTube channel for a video, which
yeah.
is pretty draining, but you can easily do that.
What's your? Go ahead and plug. You got. You're talking about your YouTube. You might as well
Yeah.
plug it. What is it?
It's youtube.com/, The Wicked Soul XBL. I do random stuff, um, old OXM videos,
Yeah.
achievement stuff, talking about achievements and all that. Sometimes I do reviews, sometimes I do walkthroughs. So that's all I do.
Yeah, that's what he does. That's what he does. He takes some of those old OXM videos. You don't give yourself enough credit. You insert yourself just walking around in the background
Yeah.
and you're just roaming around while they're talking about what games were they talking about on OXM back then? They were talking about the original Splinter Cell,
Splinter
We Heart
Cell,
Katamari or whatever it is.
uh, Prince of Persia. I just put up one about the Halo graphic novel back at Comic Con.
Yep,
And then,
everyone's favorite. Everyone remembers that from 2003.
what about the first person shooter called Turning Point Fall of Liberty?
Yeah, that's true. Good point. You know what?
Xbox C
You're right.
FPS
One of the
should
best
become
FPS games.
should become backwards compatible.
Well, yeah,
One of
where's the
those.
hashtag for that game? Um,
Yeah, the hidden gems.
yeah, the hidden gems. But yeah, so I did the same thing where, so I had back in when the Xbox came out, the week it came out, I got my, I got the Xbox because it came out. What was it? GameCube came out on a Sunday. Xbox came out right before it, right?
I don't remember.
Okay, good. I think the Xbox came out like the week before or like 4 days before. So anyway, I got the Xbox, the night before I went in for knee surgery because I was training to be a professional wrestler tore my ACL, had to get surgery on it, and I went and got the Xbox, and it was, even though I was working at GameStop at the time, you still had to get the bundle with at least 3 games.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I think it was, I don't know if it was GameStop or EB Games at the time. I think it was GameStop, and it was so I got the original Xbox. I got I got Shrek, Halo, and
Yeah,
probably Project
Fusion
Gotham
Frenzy.
Racing.
Oh
Project,
yeah. Well, Shrek is the best one there. So
well, obviously, yeah. I remember playing the original Halo the week it came out and just walking around looking straight down at the grass. And I was like, oh, that grass looks so good. Just imagine how good the grass is going to get from here. And yeah, little did I know, uh,
yeah,
games do look a lot better.
With Halo with me, most of my memories are just playing split screen with my cousin back then.
Yeah. Shout out to your cousin.
Mainly, yeah, mainly with memory for the original Xbox stuff. My memories are mostly for the GTA 3 in Vice City, and then San Andreas when that came finally came out for the Xbox. And
Yeah.
then I just with that version of with Vice City, I actually beat that one because I'm back on PS2. I couldn't beat that one driving mission where you had to race the guy for the getaway driver for the bank heist mission. I could never do that on PS2, but
Mm.
once I got the Xbox version, I somehow beat that one.
Oh, and it's probably because you played it on the Xbox. That's probably what did it.
Yeah.
It was the breakaway cable that gave you the confidence you needed to complete that
Yes.
mission. I think
Yes.
that might have been it.
Yes. Yep.
Um, I remember back when Xbox Live came out. Like, so Xbox was the first system I played online. I was super excited to play um Resident Evil Outbreak on the PS2, but the first game I ended up playing was the Xbox. I think it was like NHL 2K something or another, whatever the 2K version was. And we got it shortly after, like high speed internet shortly afterwards. And I was super excited. I hooked it up. I got it ready. I started playing. I was like 5 minutes in. My mom came down and said, "Sorry, I forgot to tell," because we had the living room. I was the youngest one. "I forgot to tell you. I told your brother you would go up to your bed early tonight." It was a Friday, mind you. Go up to bed early tonight so him and his girlfriend can watch a movie. And I had just gotten online, the broadband working on the Xbox.
No, that sucks.
Oh, it was heartbreaking. So the next day, I remember, no, it was not the next day, it was that night because obviously I wasn't going to sleep. I got the Xbox internet working. And so that night I like got downstairs around 1 or 2 in the morning after they were done, who knows what. So I started playing it, right? And the first game I put in was Lynx, the golf game.
Oh
Eh,
yeah, links.
yeah, and I was like, this is incredible. We can talk to each other while we're playing. I said, how amazing is that? I was saying this to the person I'm playing, and
Yeah.
he was like, actually, I don't like to talk while I'm putting. So I was like, okay.
Really?
Yeah, he was great. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, I guess we're not talking anymore. At least not while you're putting. Um, and so then went on from there. Yeah, even though my name is Super Nintendo, I play a lot of Xbox, a lot of um Nintendo Switch, obviously. I don't never had or never did a PC. I'm a Mac user. Recording this on a Mac, so we'll see how that goes. And but yeah, I've been playing the Xbox ever since. I play on my browser on my computer. I play the Game Pass games, which I'm sure we'll get into through the web browser. I don't do it as much anymore with the Xbox Series S being hooked up where I'm my desk, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's exciting. What about you?
with
You
me with
you
the
got every
Xbox
system,
One.
right? What about the Series X? You
Yeah, I like it. It's way faster than the base Xbox One because with some of my YouTube stuff, I have to use my base Xbox One because I use some account stuff to have play games on another account first. Then I record videos getting achievements on my main account, so gotta screw around with that. But Series X is way faster, best console they made so far. But they just need to get the games ready.
Yeah, well,
Even though I have a whole bunch of games, I've got games for years. I'm one of those people that privileged to get a bunch of to have a bunch of games. But even with all that stuff, I get choice paralysis in adding Xbox Game Pass. So it's a first world problem, pretty much complaining about games. But it's just once they get the first party stuff, it's gonna feel so much better.
yeah. The I mean, we might as well just dive right into it because that is connected to the news. The biggest news of the week. We'll talk about what we've been playing, but first I just want to talk about this because what we won't be playing is Redfall and Starfield until the first half of 2023. Um, Bethesda posted something on
Twitter and
third. Was that yesterday morning?
yeah, that was
Thursday,
Thursday morning.
Thursday, May 12th. They just posted one of those images with a bunch of words on them. It might as well have been yellow because it wasn't good news. It
Yeah,
said, "We've made this decision to delay the launches of Redfall and Starfield to the first half of 2023. The teams at Arcane Austin, Redfall, my bad, and Bethesda Game Studios, Starfield, have incredible ambitions for their games, and we want to ensure that you receive the best, most polished versions of them. We want to thank everyone for their excitement for Redfall and Starfield. That energy is a huge part of what inspires all of us every day and drives our excitement for what we are creating. We can't wait to share our deep dive into the gameplay for both Redfall and Starfield soon. So I'm guessing that will be at the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase. But
yeah.
yes, so what do you think? Redfall and Starfield 2023.
Well, Redfall was supposed to be summer this year, right?
Yeah,
Or
it should be
spring or
coming
something like
out
that.
in the next month or two.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen any of that, so that was out the window. Or
Yeah,
we should have saw it coming for that one.
well, Redfall, we got the
That
trailer at E3 last year, or well,
yeah,
June, their last June event, and then we
yeah,
didn't see anything but the leaks since
yeah. The
then,
leaks. Mm-hmm.
and it definitely did not seem like it was based on them not showing anything. That's usually in the past. It's been something that showed us like, oh, we don't expect this. I mean, they do the same thing with what was it? Was it Fallout where they
Yeah,
didn't
they did.
announce it until it's a few months before, and then
Yeah,
they just came out and released it. So they could have done the same thing with Redfall, announced, had their June showcase, and said, "Listen, it's not coming in the summer, but here it is. It'll be out in October." And
yeah,
instead, they were like, "Let's get ahead of this. We're gonna announce this now in May." So everyone knows a month ahead of time that when we show these games off, they're not going to be coming out until 2023. So that
yeah,
otherwise, that would be the only thing everyone would be talking about coming out of the showcase, no matter what they showed.
yeah. I wonder why they announced Redfall so early. Maybe was that just because of their deal going through that year? Just to say, hey, look what we got coming.
Maybe. I mean, maybe they thought it would be coming out in the next couple weeks here.
Yeah. Well, plus yeah, because we didn't know about COVID then.
When they announced it, what, last year?
Yeah, in
Well, that
June, right?
we knew about COVID. COVID
Uh,
was 2020.
uh, well, years, the years go much too fast.
what, what is real
'Cause
life? Yeah. Um.
I know it's crazy.
But
Because
yeah.
there's like no games coming out this year so far.
Well, that's not true. We had a lot of from Microsoft maybe, but
Yeah,
um.
and then Starfield, I guess it makes sense to delay it since we haven't seen it yet, but we were gonna see it anyway this next month.
Yeah, I feel like most people almost anticipated the big three, not counting Elden Ring, obviously. The big three, like I should say, the big three exclusives to all be delayed out of 2023, which is Breath of the Wild, the sequel to Breath of the Wild. We got the Starfield, and then God of War. So God of War Ragnarok is the only one that still has a date for 2022, but we'll see if that sticks or if it's going to end up just being the trifecta and then they all are delayed out of 2022.
Yeah,
Um,
because we saw gameplay of Ragnarok, but is that gonna be enough for that? To say, hey, it can come out this year, or is it too early to tell?
yeah, I mean, maybe Microsoft saw it and were like, listen, we don't need to release these games early. Like, we don't need to push them out when they're not ready. We have Game Pass, which is giving us that income that we can use to
Yeah,
offset Starfield and Redfall being delayed. We
yeah,
got
and they're selling out. They're selling out every console they make, pretty much, with
yeah.
no games.
I mean, pretty much everyone is with no games. Well, no,
Oh,
that's not true. Nintendo has a lot of games.
yeah,
First party games. Nintendo has quite a few first party games this year, but I'd say last year, I believe it was,
yeah,
they
it
didn't
dropped, right?
have as many first party games. Yeah.
Yeah, same with it's probably gonna be the same for next year, right? For them, for Nintendo,
I mean, they got Breath of the
besides
Wild, and then
besides Zelda.
who knows what else. I mean,
Well,
the
probably another Pokemon game.
well, probably another Pokemon. I mean, they got a Pokemon this holiday, but then they
Yeah,
also have the Mario team. Who knows what they're working on? But yeah, Starfield and Redfall, two of their big games for this year. Well, let's be honest, it's two of their only games announced, right? From first party games.
for this year.
Yeah.
Well, do you count As Dusk Falls as first party? Because I
What?
know that's an IP, like a new IP, but that's from a third party developer, like an indie developer.
What is it called?
As Dusk Falls, that episodic one.
And that's a Microsoft published.
Yeah, it's like interior design is the developer or something like that, if I remember correctly.
As Dusk Falls. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. And then what you got? Forza Horizon 5 DLC. But are they really going to show both of them at the same time at the showcase next month?
I mean, they gotta show something, right? I mean, they
Yeah,
can't just keep showing Fable when Fable's like another 5 years away.
yeah. Do you think the rumors of the that Master Chief Style Collection is Fable or is it Gears of War, or is it like a Fallout collection or something like that?
Mm, I don't know which one are you talking about. There was a
The, the rumors of a Master Chief collection style like remaster collection of games that
oh yes,
people were talking about.
I thought that was Gears of War.
Yeah, wasn't it Gears or Fable or something like that?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Gears. And then
For me, it's gonna be real disappointing if it's Gears
yeah,
because
well,
we already got. We can play it all on Xbox already. They already remade the first one. Is it really worth it to go back to all those other ones
is
just to have a collection that could potentially be a disaster?
yeah, that's it'll be interesting to see if it's remakes or remasters. will it be as grandiose as the Master Chief Collection? Because I can't imagine they want another one of those on their hands.
I know. Well, plus it wouldn't be it would just be the Unreal Engine, so it shouldn't be too bad. Because wasn't Master Chief Collection like 7 engines running on top of each other
I think
or like
so. It
interconnected?
was like barely. It was like put together with duct tape. Yeah.
Yeah, which is
Um.
cool. The button to swap graphics on the fly. That's really cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Fun fact: I've never beaten any of the Halo games. Probably, if you combine all the Halo games, I've played hundreds of hours of each of them, right? But it's all been multiplayer and not single player. But that
Yeah,
I'll blame that on my ADHD because if I am playing a game and it's got that Gears of War does this too that stopped me from playing Gears of War at the time. It does that slow walk or like it
slow walk.
tells the story, just has the storytelling while you're walking. I can't.
Yeah,
I was like, I just want the story to be told and let me hit a button to skip it if I want. If that
yeah,
means we're sitting on a hilltop, I skip it. All of a sudden, there's bloodshed around me and I'm just in the middle of an action scene. So be it. I'll take it. If that's what it means, so be it.
yeah.
But
I've beaten every Halo besides the RTS ones. Well, I haven't beat Halo Infinite yet, but I've beaten every other one.
so you haven't beaten them all, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Infinite. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna wait for the co-op stuff for Infinite. Like I thought it was a good game when I played it, but I don't know. It's just I'm not in the mood for that right now.
I was playing. Well, I'm not in the mood for Infinite either. I'll be honest there. Let's talk about that for a second. Because Halo Infinite, the new season started. Um, I enjoyed the new game mode, but I started playing it and then we played it one night.
Yep, played
Yeah,
it. But it's just so weird playing an arena style shooter like that. Because we've been playing a bunch of Fortnite too.
yeah, we've been playing quite a bit of Fortnite. That no build mode
Yeah,
is where it's at.
I think for me it's like the PUBG, the Player Unknown's Battlegrounds phenomenon again. It's just so addictive. It's fun to pick up and all that.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun. The just the Fortnite, um it does something that Halo doesn't do for me, and it's like constantly throwing numbers at me and like telling me I'm completing missions, as opposed to Halo where it's like I'm not leveling up unless I do this exact mission that's here, and if I don't feel like doing that
You have
mission
to
right now, I gotta
swap it
either
out.
use a swap that I have, or if I'm out of swaps, I can go buy them. Otherwise, I'm
Yeah,
just not leveling up.
yeah,
Um,
it's so weird.
yeah, just as opposed to Fortnite, which is oh, okay. So you're playing and okay, land here but also get headshot damage with this kind of gun and headshot damage with this gun. Plus if you knock over a certain number of trees, we're going to give you experience points. And if you
Yeah,
do this, we're going to give you like break stuff down, we're going to give you experience points. The chests that you're opening, we're going to you get it. They're just constantly just throwing experience points at you as opposed to Halo, which is the loop of the game just isn't doing it for me um like I
I
wanted
think
to.
I think it's like the design of the arena shooters doesn't fit well with the battle pass model of all that stuff. Because with Call of Duty, I don't think you would ever want to just grind out that battle pass just with the multiplayer, except for like your weapon skins, but it would
Like
just
if it
be with
had team
Warzone.
deathmatch, you mean?
Yeah, like the team deathmatch, like the normal multiplayer. I don't
Yeah.
think anybody uses that for battle pass except getting challenges or
Yeah,
weapon
they
skins
unlock weapon
or
skins, yeah.
leveling up your guns to get the attachments that you want. hopefully when the Activision stuff goes through, 343 can look at get some feedback from the what's their Raven Studios or Raven Software for the Battle Pass stuff.
Hopefully they can because they got to do something with it.
Yeah.
We'll
And
see.
then finally 343 can rest in not having to prop up Xbox the whole time because they're in a rock and a hard place with that. They had to rush Halo Infinite out. They got the delay, but we knew they had to get even more delay because it didn't launch with co-op or Forge. Had a terrible battle pass system, so hopefully they learned their lesson with Halo.
Hopefully, I mean, we'll wait and have to wait and see what they do. But we're in season 2 now, which goes for 6 months.
Yeah,
So
that's too long with too little content.
yeah, it's a long time, and even then, I don't know that I'll get to level 100 because I just don't feel like playing it anymore.
At least on the bright side, the battle pass doesn't expire. I guess that's a good
Yeah,
thing.
that's true. Good point. Excellent point, Wicked. Um, since we're so Redfall, Starfield delayed, we got on sidetracked, so we might as well
Yeah,
just keep talking about what we've been playing. I know you've been playing Grounded with your cousin.
yeah,
Now,
we just started that up.
what do you think?
It's pretty good so far. It's really creepy and unsettling. Like all those sounds with the bugs. Like when we were playing last night, we got chased by mosquitoes and having the buzzing in your ear when you're playing with headphones on, it's like they're actually in your ear, like so close to it. It's crazy.
Yeah,
But it does have like the story stuff now. I don't know when they added that, but it's pretty good.
I'll be
It's
honest. Yeah, when I started playing the game, every time I pick it up, I think we talked about this yesterday or the day, whenever we talked about it. When I pick it back up, they're like, "Oh, here's a new update," and I just started over at the beginning, and all that still feels the same.
yeah.
So I don't
For me,
quite get what they do.
yeah, it's still the same. You wake up in that case, you go out, you go to that mysterious machine, do like all the objectives it wants you to do. Then you find like a little lab base with a robot in it. Then he gives you exposition, gives you your next missions, side missions, and all that stuff. So there's more story stuff, and then their most recent update they added a faction system. So like if you're attacking a bunch of ants, the faction meter will go down, and then they'll attack your base, be more hostile. I think. So they keep adding to it. Hopefully, we don't have to restart each time when they update it. But we'll
Yeah,
see what happens.
I hope not. Yeah, I that's something I certainly hope we don't have to do every
Yeah,
single time we.
because you're building a base each time. Like with
Yeah,
me and my cousin, we just put up a wall grass perimeter. Can't talk, but you
yeah.
know what I'm saying. Like walls around our little base. But hopefully, we don't have to restart once they update it again to 1.0.
1.0. I mean, we're getting there. Gonna come out a game preview before you know it, and
You think it's this year or next year?
they've been making good progress. I wouldn't be surprised if it was this year.
Yeah, because it's only
Uh,
like a 12-man team too, or something like that.
I think so. Yeah, and so, but this one here is it's hard to tell with the Xbox looking to see like what version it is because the numbers don't line up because it's like
Yeah,
1.13.10.0, but when you open the game up it might say a different number. The
yeah, they have the build number on the title screen.
Yeah, and I think it's almost at 1.0, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, just like Ooblets at 9.0. It's getting there. It's almost at 10. Ooblets. That's a game. I think I loaded it up, played a little bit of it, but now that it got announced for the Switch, I'll probably play it there because I don't have the Steam Deck, and I would like to play Ooblets handheld. I mean, I guess I could get one of those controllers and
uh,
just play it from my.
on your phone or tablet
Yeah, but I can't do that with my. What's it called, right? Can
with your
you?
iPhone.
I couldn't because it's not in the cloud, so I just have to
Yeah,
do
it's,
the screen
it's
mirroring or whatever it is.
yeah, something like that. Because that's the Pokemon one, right? Where you
Yeah.
capture
It,
capture creatures
you have a
and then
farm.
raise them.
You have a farm. You raise, you grow vegetables, but then there's also a card battling dance off system where when the game was first announced, they were battling each other. And then they were like, what if we made it more cozy because they wanted to be one of those wholesome games?
Oh, so they're just dancing now.
So it's just a dance off and everyone's having a good time. That way no one has to get hurt. And it's just enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
definitely a good game to jump in and escape from everything else.
yeah, sort of like Animal Crossing, but you can play Ooblets for more than a couple hours at a time, right?
Yeah, it's not in real time. So the time is going actually a lot faster. So yeah, it kind of reminds me a bit of monster collecting, like Monster Hunter or not Monster Hunter. Jeez Louise, Pokemon. I was thinking of Monster Hunter
The
stories, but even that, it's nothing like that. So it reminds me of like Stardew Valley if they let you collect monsters because you're the one thing I'm doing a lot is running out of money. So I need to like find money and grow a lot of plants to get money, all while having dance offs.
uh, is the dance off like randomly, like random battles, or is it other farmers that
Uh,
are
so let's say you're running around town and you see, because it's like one big town with a bunch of shops plus your farm. So you're doing that a lot. And then when you run around, you'll find different ooblets and it'll pop up over their head like, hey, if you have three of these pieces of cotton, we can fight and or dance. You got to like trade those in to fight them, and then you get your boom, your ooblets, and then you fight them, and you bring your ooblets with you, and you're doing the moves based on cards that you get. So the cards you get are it's you just drawing different cards. So you some hands you might be dealt a better hand than others. Uh, but as long as you have a good,
so is it sort of like a deck building game too, or is it just randomized cards that you have?
the cards are based on the ooblets you have. So they start off with
Okay,
I think 2 or 4 cards, and then every time they level, they get a new card.
okay, so that sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, so I mean it's pretty good. If you're not sure if you would like to play it, you can hop on and download it from. It's still a part of Xbox Game Preview, which they let you play like the first hour for free.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was in Game Pass, but I guess I'm
Yeah,
mistaken on with that.
is not on Game Pass. Uh, I do that a lot too. Where like I thought what's it called was on Game Pass. Rogue Legacy 2, but it turns out no, it wasn't on Game Pass. It just launched on Xbox first.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah,
That's launching on Xbox first.
it is. Well, I mean, maybe they had some sort of deal worked out.
Yeah, deal or something.
Because I think the first Rogue Legacy came out. Um, it was like PS3 and Vita.
No,
Because I
yeah, I
remember
have
I
it.
played it on Vita and boom.
Yeah, I remember buying it on Xbox, playing it for a little bit, and then Not playing it ever again.
Uh, Recently I went back to Rogue Legacy 1 on the Switch just to see how it plays, and yeah, you can definitely tell they had Rogue Legacy and they built a lot of new stuff on top of it, and the good stuff got better and the bad stuff is improved. It's one of my favorite games I've played all year long. That includes Elden Ring. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, what about you? What, have you played anything else?
Well, mostly it's Samurai Warriors 5.
Oh,
I
yes.
finished both of the campaigns because you play as Oda and Akechi because it was first announced as like a Nintendo Direct, and I think a lot of people were upset about the art style change, but I it grew on me. But you play each character's side of the story, and I finally beat that. I'm 40 hours in. Now I'm going back getting all the objectives done because each level has like 4 to 10 objectives that you do
Yeah.
that are it's I don't know if it's like a super easy mode to it tells you where to go and stuff. But and plus some are hidden, some you gotta use certain characters for each levels or make sure you go to the right spot at the right time or stay in a spot for a set amount of time. But doing all that and I'm getting S ranks in each level. Then I gotta level up everybody to like level 15 or 20. But yeah, I like it. The only thing that's weird about it is some of the characters that are missing from the previous games, like
Uh, who's
which is
missing?
really weird. Like the Sanada guys, some other people from I can't because this is the first Samurai Warriors game since for Xbox since the 360 days with Samurai Warriors 2 and Samurai Warriors 2 Empires and Extreme Legends.
Yeah, and
So
this is what, Samurai Warriors 5?
yeah, but we also got for some reason it's so weird because we get Dynasty Warriors Empires, we get the Warriors Orochi games, which include the Samurai Warriors people and the Dynasty Warriors guys, but it's so weird. I'm glad they brought 5 over. I'm guessing once Samurai Warriors 5 Extreme Legends comes out, maybe that's the new DLC version that they always do. I bet you that's going to be the last one of these, the Samurai Warriors for Xbox. Because I
Yeah.
don't think these sell a lot on these platforms.
Well, I
Yep.
mean,
Yeah.
it's it's not it's those games that aren't right for everybody. Like
Yeah.
there's some games that have more of an appeal, a broader appeal to everybody. And then
Yeah.
there's games like the Muso games where you are hacking and slashing. A lot of it is like
Yeah.
in the war. The
Yeah.
way they got those games to sell really well on the Switch is with
Hybrid Warriors having the Zelda guy.
Hyrule Warriors, and yeah. So if they were to have like a Gears Warriors or Halo
Yeah.
Warriors, I feel like, or even a Fable
Yeah. It
game.
could work. I could see it working, but they would just have to mess with the weapons, but you can easily do that.
Yeah, it
You
would
don't have
be.
to have a super huge roster because with these newer ones, they take away the unique weapons that they have in previous games. Now I know it's probably easier for them on the development side, so instead of having to do a bunch of combos that can string together for unique weapons for like a characters that people won't even play as.
Yeah, yeah. Once you have that many weapons, it's just a matter of time with um, how much time are we putting into this compared to how many people and how many hours are they actually going to spend using this many weapons. If you give people too many weapons, then they're
Yeah,
not going to use them. It's part of
yeah,
the
Uh,
choice
and
paralysis.
yeah, and you're right about this being a series that it's not going to be for everybody. Because with the hack and slash stuff, I think a lot of people want good AI,
Yeah.
and these ones don't really have. For me, I play on easy a bunch because it's a power fantasy game. It's a 1 versus 1,000. It's not like you got other AI guys by your side, but it's mostly you have to do everything. You're killing everybody on the field, which is like thousands of people. But yeah, I know some people want it. Even if you play on hard, it's super annoying because you're just doing the same combo over and over again, and it's not fun the way like Devil May Cry would be to do other combos and having enemies fight back. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. They just kind of stand there waiting to be hit.
Yes, and it's fun. It's mindless, but you can't play it for like because the completion for Samurai is 5. It's going to be like 100 hours to 120 hours. Now, once I do that, I'm probably not going to play another one for maybe till like next year or
Yeah.
maybe like December because you're doing the same thing over and over at each level. Sometimes you don't really get much variety, but it's still fun. It's like a mindless game. Really like to play.
And that is Samurai Warriors 5, right? That you were playing?
Yes, and you should buy it because
Oh,
it's the first one that we got.
you got to buy it. It's just, how much is it?
And I think it's like $50 now.
Okay, well, maybe you don't have to buy. Don't tell people to buy
Yeah,
this game for $50 when just because you played for 80 hours doesn't mean somebody that just got done playing WWE 2K22 is going to hop in and be like, you know what I
yeah,
could go for? A nice long Warriors game.
yeah. When
I'll download the $50 Warriors game when they
add
on
in,
Microsoft when they make it like Lost Odyssey Warriors. Give me that Blue Dragon Warriors. Give me something
yeah,
that I will come back to. That's the whole reason I play. The game performs pretty badly, Hyrule Warriors, but
yeah,
because
which,
I'm like riding around as Link on a motorcycle,
yeah,
it just gets me to keep playing it and just hitting the button and mindlessly breaking through these enemies. It's a good game to, it's one of those good podcasting games. Those good games that you podcast to. Um, I
yeah.
Are you done with the
Oh, I
Warriors?
should say, there's no English voice acting, so if you're
Oh,
against
good.
that for some reason, but I think it's fine in Japanese.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's
Please.
no more embarrassing localizations from the back in the PS2 days with Dynasty Warriors with Cow Cow and all that. It's
Yeah,
so funny.
I guess they're like, you know what? We're not even gonna bother.
Yeah,
Which is
saves them money.
which not only does it save them money, but they know their market, and the market that will
Yeah,
actually buy the game doesn't care if it's only in Japanese voicing. As long as it's got the subtitles, they know what to do, where to go and run, and
yeah,
who to hit next. You're ready to
yeah,
go. All right, now are you done talking about
yeah.
Warriors 5?
Yeah. I'm done with that.
All right, he's done, ladies and gentlemen. So today, Evil Dead the game. Today's Friday the 13th. Ooh, spooky. And besides trying to play Legend of Icaro,
Ikaro.
uh, I've been playing some Evil Dead the game. Yeah, I tried to play Legend of Icaro, wouldn't load. I don't know what's going on. Email the dev, see what's happening. But yeah, the game I did play some today was Evil Dead the game, which it reminds me a lot of Dead by Daylight. It is 4v1 asynchronous multiplayer where you and up to you three other people are running around crossplay, mind you. This is on everything. It's $39.99. The game's on sale. not on sale, but it's not a full price game. And yeah, it is online. It's one of those games where you play the if as long as you like this loop, if you like this loop of going starting with just your fists, picking up weapons, picking up ammo, and trying to get the undead even more dead, you can go ahead and pick up Evil Dead the game because it's got crossplay. It is quite a bit of fun. Now, at the same time, if I will say this, if I didn't play it again, um, I might
You,
be a little sad, but not that sad enough to be like, oh, I really want to play this again. I played some with friend, and we played it like 3 matches, and I was like, this is pretty fun. And then I played a match as one of the killers, um, and not as fun. I did not like it as much. It does the same thing, just like some people say it shouldn't be compared to Dead by Daylight, but I say nonsense. This game should be compared to by Daylight because it is doing a lot of the same things. The players are running around in third person, the killer running around in first person. Their vision looks different. You are playing a completely different game than what those other four people are doing. Uh
I
this
thought the killer was like a dungeon master and uh like controlling a bunch of enemies that can spawn everywhere. Is that not what they do, or is it just a killer like Dead by Daylight where you just run around killing people?
you well no, yeah, what happens is you are I only played one game as the killer. You when you play, you there's three different kinds of enemies you can be like start as. It's all in first person. You run around. There's like um, these just
Is it sort of like Evolve
intense
that way?
fire, right? Burning. It almost if more than anything, it reminds me more of Friday the 13th, the game. And you are running around, right? You can, oh, they're making noise. You got this woman speaking with you and telling you, oh, they're over there. Don't let, they got another map piece. You better be careful. You're making a mockery of me. And all the while, there's like these like burning flames, and you collect them, and then you level up, and then you can, the same points you use to level up are the same points you use to set traps and mess with the end, like possess the uh, enemies that you're fighting against, the survivors trying to get out of there. And yeah, it's fun in the sense that it's
I don't know. It sounds like the killer stuff wouldn't be as more fun than the survivors and stuff. Because I watched your stream earlier today and it was like it seems fine, but I don't know how long you would play that once. Do you think if you beat all the levels, do you think you would go back to it?
yeah. Well, I think if I was playing with a group of people, like if we were playing and we had four of us all in voice chat talking, I think I'd play it a lot more. Like if my friends were playing it, I would be more likely to jump in and play that game. But since not a lot of people, um,
Or buying it, or that you know, or that have it?
yeah, they have it and everything else. But yeah, so we are. That is Evil Dead the game. It's just, it's not. I had higher hopes for it than I think what ended up we ended up getting. Um,
Now, is there a straight up co-op version of this, or is it always asynchronous multiplayer,
it's
or whatever?
always yeah, it's always 3-on-1 or 4-on-1, and when you are Playing by yourself, it's still just a 4-on-1 match with 3 AIs on your team, and the enemy is AI too. But you can play solo if you want and still gain experience points, I think.
Well, that's good. So it's sort of like the Resident Evil one that they delayed or
Yeah.
something like that.
Um.
The reverse or whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah. RE-verse. Um. Yeah. The game itself is a lot of fun playing as the humans, the survivors, but the only time I really had fun was like th- towards the end of the match when they're like frantically trying to do stuff. Like they are, they don't know where you are, so you could be anywhere. So like the tensions rise, and if they stay in the dark for too long, they get scared. Like fear creeps in, and then you can do moves to them that you couldn't do before. Like you can possess them. Possess When you possess them, it goes in the third person. You can set traps, and then if an enemy, one of the survivors runs through it, it is then instantly, boop, knocked away, and they are doing it.
How many times can you revive your buddies when you're playing the survivors? Is it just infinite amount of times, or is it just one and done?
Well, I don't, I don't actually know how many times you can do it, but the one that you do it, it's I did it 3 times. I revived someone. No, they get knocked down 3 times before they died. So they got knocked
Okay.
down. I revived them. They got knocked down again. I revived them again, and then they got knocked down again. And then it's like their bar is like that much
Super
closer to
low.
being dead. And then if they die that way, you can get their soul and then go to like one of the ritual things and bring them back that way too.
Okay.
So it's like it's just more work for you if you don't get them up while they're bleeding out. But yeah, it was fun. And that was Evil Dead the game. Um, Wicked. What about any? Were you playing anything else?
No, not really.
No, not
I'm
really.
just
I mean,
focusing on Samurai Warriors 5. I'm trying to do that. I have a video in mind I want to do, so I'm just trying to do that real quick.
working on that Samurai Warriors 5. Don't forget, check out Wicked at what is it? The Wicked Soul XBL.
Yeah, just do youtube.com/ The Wicked Soul XPL.
There you go. And I'm youtube.com/ Super Nintendo. So yeah, this was the first episode. We will probably work on the format, work on how we do it, and go from there. But yeah,
I'll
Wicked.
try to play some more games.
Try and play some more games, even if they're Game Pass. You got any Game Pass recommendation? Your Game
Oh,
Pass recommendation of the week.
oh, that's gonna be tough.
It doesn't have to come out this week. Just a game that's on Game Pass that, if you have Game Pass, you should check it out.
Hmm.
I'll just go with Grounded. Okay. You got Game
Need
Pass,
to,
check out
I need
Grounded.
to I need to pull up a list. Hold on, let me pull this up right here.
While Wicked pulls up a list, don't forget, this is it. Steep, Final Fantasy X, 10-2, The Wild at Heart, The Catch, Carp, right? And
Yeah,
Chorus Fishing,
the
gone.
fish
They're
game.
leaving soon. Enter the Gungeon, boom, leaving soon. Remnant, leaving soon. Get 'em while they're hot. You want some horror in October? How about horror in May? Because you can get Alien Isolation. There's a game. Actually, one of my favorite games is on Game Pass, and it is Forager for the Xbox.
Oh, I think I bought that on the sale,
Oh,
but I
was it
haven't
real
played it
cheap?
yet. Yeah, I think bought it like last year. Okay, so this Xbox app is super slow for some reason.
So you literally don't know any games that are on Game Pass that you could recommend?
Uh,
So then,
well,
what?
Sunset Overdrive. If you've never played that one, you should play that.
There you go. That's all you
Probably
had
the
to do.
best Xbox exclusive for the Xbox One generation.
That's what you're sticking to?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just do Sunset Overdrive. Even though we'll never get the sequel on Xbox, maybe they'll Insomniac will make a second one after they do Spider-Man stuff, but we'll have to play it on PlayStation.
Spider Man and Wolverine. Don't forget
Yeah,
Wolverine.
yeah.
All right. Well, wicked.
What's your Game Pass recommendation?
I listed like 8 while you were looking up for your one. But mine is Forager. And that
Okay.
is a wonderful top down game where you are a little guy and you are building up your area and then picking and picking resources with your pickaxe, or you're cutting down bushes and getting berries and doing all that stuff. You're foraging, believe it or not, and based on the name of the game. You're going to do a bunch of foraging and then keep building and building your area where you can do things. And then the more you do, the more you can forge. The more you forge, the more you can do. So it's one of those games that is definitely worth your time. And I would check it out before it leaves Game Pass. Wicked, where can people find you outside of YouTube?
Um, on Twitter it's at thy name is wicked. On TikTok it's at the Wicked Souls YT, and that's about it. Where
Oh,
can people find you?
oh, great question. I thought you'd never ask. You can find me over at Super Nintendo on YouTube, on Twitch, on TikTok, everywhere. Super Nintendo. Go ahead and look me up. But yes, we will have this podcast on all of the stuff. We're gonna have it on what's it called and what's it called and what's it called, you know? Anywhere you can find a podcast, we'll have it there. Xbox, just look for Stay Connected and we will be there. And if you have any questions, anything you want us to talk about, go ahead, email us at stayconnected@gmail.com or hit us up on Twitter at stayconnected, and we will answer any questions we receive. Wicked, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be back next week. Toodaloo.